Hi. That was a fun intro, wasn't it? People were probably like, "He doesn't know that he's that he's streaming." I did know. I'm just having a little fun. Hey, who's buying PepsiCo out there? Oh my god. Wow, is that fallen? So I sold this joker at $158 a share, 100 shares, and here we are at 133 bucks. So I want to know from all of you in the audience, what are you doing? By the way, we're live. It's Sunday night in the Dividend Dive, live from my basement. It's Sunday night, right? Like good old SNL. Who lives in Pooler, Georgia? Anybody? Anyone? I just saw a text pop up that my boss apparently said he got a call in Pooler, Georgia. So don't think I'll be taking that here from Chicago. It's kind of goofy thing. Yeah, we don't. When we take overtime calls, we get paid from the moment we leave our house till when we get back. So that, ladies and gentlemen, would be one hell of a bill. But welcome. Good to see you. And Chris, Chris, you're working tonight, man. Thank you. Can you share what you do? I don't know what you do, Chris. Let's learn all about Chris and what Chris does. We'll patiently wait. If you want to say, feel free. But Pat, I'm glad you like the newsletter. If you are watching this and you don't get the newsletter, link in the description below or dapperdividends.com. I got to do something with that website someday. It's just a little aggregator, but yeah, I thought that was real interesting. I listen to Motley Fool Money. I listen to dozens and dozens of podcasts a week. And I listen to audiobooks too, right? I just read a nonfiction book, as well as I'm reading The Warren Buffett Way by, I think it's Robert Hagstrom, again, for the second time around. So we'll see that. I sent out an invitation to the publisher for Harriman House for one Alex Morris. So as you guys know, I listened to every Berkshire annual meeting twice going back to 1994 because that's when they started releasing them. That's the earliest that we have. They haven't released any sooner than that. But Alex Morris, he's an investment professional, and you may have heard him on some podcasts, but he did the same thing. He listened twice, took notes. I think he said it took him a couple of years to write this book, and I'm going to order it. It's called Warren Buffett and Munger Unscripted, I think is the title of it. And hey, that's what he did. So he broke it down real nice. And I invited him on. I got in touch with Sean. I don't know if you remember the most popular video I've ever done is called the Millionaire Dividend Investor, interview with a millionaire dividend investor. So I'm going to talk to him eventually. And yeah, so, Kevin, you're buying PepsiCo. Yeah, we'll look over a few things. I listened to their earnings call. Steve doesn't own any Jack in the Box, but they cut the dividend to zero. Let me look at that real quick. Was it Jack? Yeah, Jack, like Jack FM. Oh, dude, here, I'll show all you real quick. See if I can not be very, what am I doing here? Yeah, we'll look real quick for you, Steve. They did come up once because they had a higher yield, and I'm trying to remember what it was now that I didn't like about them, but let me show you guys that. Yeah, I still, you can tell I'm small now. I still haven't figured out why it doesn't keep my setting for when I go live here to give you guys more real estate. So there it is, Steve, Jack in the Box. They are currently unrated because they are a $462 million market cap, super small cap company, right? Berkshire Hathaway finds $462 million in the couch cushions in Warren's office, right? So the dividend was flat for a while. I think that's why I didn't. Yeah, that was a frozen dividend for quite some time. But yeah, I don't know. Their free cash flow payout ratio was negative 74%. And then the last 12 months, it was 40%. So nothing too wild, but maybe it's just the economic headwinds. Oh, they only got 19 million shares outstanding. They buy those back. Let's see their debt. What's the debt doing? No net debt. That's real interesting, Steve. So they're unrated, but we would need a little bit of a deeper dive to know why they cut that dividend, because it doesn't look to me like they couldn't not afford it. I know they had the negative free cash flow last year in 24, but hey, this is why it pays to know some of these companies inside and out if you can, right? And even then, it might be too difficult. You might not know exactly what they're doing, dude. Oh, Pat, thanks again. Doc, nice to see you, man, all the way from North Dakota. Matt, my weekend was good. Busy as usual. We're always doing something. Actually, yesterday, if any of you are in the Chicagoland area or you drive up the Tri-State 294, you will see Gurney Mills Mall. We went there. I hadn't been there since I was in my Navy days, but it's a Simon Property Group, ticker SPG. So we went to two of the Simons. We went to Gurney Mills, which is massive. Saw a fraction of it because I wanted to go to the Nike clearance store. I should have brought them down, but it's funny. The secret is that I learned is with some of these like factory stores or outlet stores that are in an outlet mall, they don't always have the best prices, but the clearance store is where you want to hit. So there's a Nike clearance store in Gurney Mills that we went to. I didn't find a damn thing. I tried on some shoes. They didn't feel right. And then we went over to Adidas and I found like 3 different shoes. I need some walk-in shoes, right? And I told my wife, I'm like, why the hell we invest in Nike again? I never find any of their shoes that feel good on me. But they do own Converse. I like my Chucks. I do wear Converse shoes, but and I'm kind of joking, not joking, as I'm in the store just trying on pair after pair after pair, and just, I don't know, they just didn't grab me like the Adidas ones did. And I got some running shoes. Not going to start running, but I don't know if you guys ever experienced anything like that. So we're standing in Nike, but there was a lot of people there, a lot of people checking out, buying things. But I did tell Jenna, my wife, I was like, I don't know, babe, why do I have these 105 shares of Nike again when we don't wear their products? My wife, and I looked down at her shoes. I was wearing Adidas, and I looked down at her shoes, and she's got Brooks on, which, who owns Brooks? That's right. Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway own Brooks. So I don't know where it's going with that, but what's up? I just want to make sure you got tea. Yeah, I got my tea. Thank you. That's so nice of you to check in on me. Why did he say it with gritted teeth? We don't know. Sometimes I can't even explain it. Just take it for what it is. It's open-ended. You take of it what you will, right? It's like a choose your own adventure where you, I suppose, neither get to choose or it's not your own adventure. But Matt, thanks for sharing. I should have asked that, you guys. Like, this is where Ryan is good. He asks questions and I just go on and on and on. But you bought Lowe's, your 425th share of SCHD, VTI, and VFIAX. I don't remember what VFIAX is, but I can tell from that X, it's in a 401k, right? Because that's a mutual fund. There he is. What's up? What's up, Craig? Dude, I should have you on a live stream soon. I listened to you and Dan Weston. By the way, Craig was on Dan's, and that was cool. What a difference. Good. Well, we'll get to some news, Pat. We'll look at some PepsiCo numbers. So I listened to the earnings call today, multitasking. I cut the grass. I listened to PepsiCo's earnings call. And what's TT? Is that, let me see. I don't know what that is. Oh, Train Technologies. Nothing runs. Oh, what's the saying? Come on, help me out. Nothing runs longer than a train. Nothing runs longer than a train, right? Harder than a train? No, that don't sound right. Heat pumps, air conditioners. We can look at that in a minute. I'll leave it up for you. Let me get caught up here. Walk into one around these parts, and there's less people in a dive bar. I assume, Doc, you're talking about Nike. That's my problems here. You will also respond to something, and I, anyway. MLPX and chill. So far, I haven't really been adding much. I did add a share not too long ago. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, MLPX is the Global X Energy and Infrastructure ETF. It's all the midstream companies. When you think about oil, let's see if I could get this right. I know the middle. The middle is easy, but upstream is when they, I think somebody correct me, upstream is when they explore and pull oil and natural gas out of the earth. The midstream is when they transport it. That's what MLPX is. Companies like Enterprise Products Partners, Williams Company, I think Kinder Morgan is one. Who am I missing there? Energy Transfer. Those companies have networks of pipelines and ships, and they transport the oil and natural gas. They work on contracts, so they're not really affected by the price of oil, by a barrel of oil, the price of that. So they're just concerned that there is oil flowing through their network, right? That's how they make their money. They contract out for Exxon, Chevron, Marathon Petroleum, Citgo, all those companies. So that's the midstream. And then we already did up. Downstream would be when they refine it and bring it to gas stations and sell it to you when you put it in your car, or natural gas propane comes to your house, I guess. That's the downstream. So sometimes I get upstream and downstream confused. I'm going to flip them sometimes, but I think that's right. I think. Or is upstream because they're pulling it up out of the ground, and then down as it's coming into your car? I told you, hey, now I've done confused myself. I probably had it right, and someday I'll have a simple little trick to remind myself of that. Patel, any good stocks to buy? Thinking about ARE. Is that Acre? No, ACRE. Is that Alexandria Real Estate? Yeah, that's a solid one. Very high dividend yield right now. We can look at that. Let me hold on. No, let me let you hold on while I write this down so I don't forget to look at TT and ARE. And we're going to look at PEP, good old PEP. And, oh, you were talking about Jack in the Box. Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't been to a Jack in the Box. Who's there? Hello? What? Why are you whispering? Hey, hello, wait a minute. It's nutty kids. That's what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you live with teenagers. It's very easy to embarrass them by embarrassing yourself. But when you're older, you kind of realize that all the people that you're worried about their opinions of you, they're going to be dead soon. You're going to be dead soon. Boy, talk about raining on a parade, right? The world is going to forget that you even lived. So that's what happens. It's just, even the super, super famous people, we've talked about it, right? How many Roman emperors can you name? I think there was over 70 of them, maybe 60, 70. And I know we've done this exercise before, but at one time, the Roman emperor was the most powerful person, arguably, in the entire world. And we've forgotten most of them. You know, you can name the fun ones. Caligula comes to mind. So, yeah, Alex, ARE, we'll look it up. We'll look up at Pepsi High Tech, since you show that. Hey, there's 45 of you on. So let's look at a little bit of PepsiCo. And Doc, you could name 3-ish Roman emperors, but isn't it crazy? We all like to think that the world's going to remember us, but quite honestly, maybe it would have been a little different if, no, because I think of all this recorded content I'm doing someday. Think of that. 150 years from now, this recording that's on YouTube, where's it going to be? I don't even know if it's going to exist. And if it does, who's going to care? Who's really going to care? I don't think anybody will. So it's like, it's in a way, it's kind of cool because this is for you and I right now, right here. Because the people 150 years from now, they're going to be concerned with the people that are living in the world at that time, right? Because everybody is so self-centered and self-indulgent that you're always focused on what's going on with the people that you're sharing the world with right now. So, yeah, good song. Very good song. Good punk sounding song. I used to have big chunk of that song remembered, but apparently not so much anymore. All right, here we go. Well, let's look at some PepsiCo stuff real quick since you're bringing it up, Matt. We'll do it for you. I'll do it for everybody. And yeah, before we jump in, I listened to their earnings, and I guess one big takeaway that I had is that everything is macroeconomic. You have supply chain issues stemming from the tariffs right now. I know container ships are like way down. So they're talking about a few weeks we could start seeing emptier or empty shelves. But there's like, so supply chain and tariffs. There's Ozempic, right? The GLP-1 drugs, people taking that to lose weight. If we hit a recession, Ramon LaGuardia, their CEO, said it on the call that they're keeping their brand in people's, I don't know, houses. They're keeping their brand, people buying it by smaller portions. So, right, the shrinkflation, they're going to give you smaller portions so they can charge what looks like less for it or less dollar amount. So people keep buying it. But there's that. Just people being healthier. There's a shift. So he said there's going to be uncertainty and volatility, but I guess the good thing is that all of those are macroeconomic. And as we say, every company is a living, breathing entity. And I'm not going like down the line of Citizens United, that whole thing. Like but any living, breathing entity's first order of survival, right? Lest it be suicidal, is to survive. And so I tie my knot in tongues. No, I tie my tongue in knots. I hear suicidal tendencies. If you guys are old my age and you were in that music, like suicidal, suicidal tendencies. God bless Mike Muir. So, and Robert Trujillo was in there too. But all right, let's see. Now I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, people. Any company is going to do what they have to do to survive. And if the macroeconomic environment is changing, meaning people's tastes, what people want to put in their body, they're going to shift with that. Ramon talked about it on the call. I think he said later this year, they're going to have no artificial colors anymore. Some of the brands like Tostitos are already done with artificial colors. They're going to try to meet that demand and appear that the products are healthier. They're trying to do a lot of reduced sugar, just try higher fiber, leaning into protein. What did he call it? The rapid hydration, things like that. So they bought Poppy. Poppy's supposed to be a better for you drink, soda, right? So they're going to shift. They're going to shift with the consumer and hopefully meet that demand. So we'll see what that does. But Doc. Oh, dude, you know me too well. I'm gonna have to listen to that. So beautiful. Oh, Suicidal did. I'll listen to both. Yeah, and again, Frank, it's just shrinkflation. Okay, I know. I promised. I'm gonna look. So we're gonna look now. Now we're going to look, everybody. I need that Mr. Rogers music when he went to the land of make believe, right? So we'll start with. We'll get back to. I'm going to keep going on a roll of Pepsi, and then Patel, we'll look at it. I won't forget. I got it written down. So we'll get to their yield, but they haven't updated this. They simplysafedividends.com is where this is at. Still gives a dividend safety score of 93, very safe, and it looks very undervalued. Their credit rating is A+, very strong, so that is good. But let's see a few things here. This might be too zoomed in now. Yeah, so their dividend growth, they've paid 60 years without a reduction in the dividend and 52 years dividend growth. I think it's 53 now. I think it might be officially that. But yeah, their latest raise was 5%. So that's kind of a little bit below their 10-year CAGR of 7.7, but still very good. And yeah, they did raise again. So I think that's 53 years of dividend growth now. But according to SimpliSafe and based on their 5-year average price to earnings ratio, they are way undervalued. So it could be a good time to buy there. And an interesting fact, if you can see this dividend yield right here, just nosebleed level, sky high above the 5-year average. I think I read that it has never in PepsiCo's history, their dividend yield has never been this high. So there is massive uncertainty. You can see the bottom just fell out of their PE ratio. The 5-year average is 24, and we're at 16 now. So this is the forward price to earnings ratio, meaning you're going to pay $16 for every $1 of PepsiCo's earnings. And they're actually in line with the consumer staples. So that's kind of interesting right there, which is at 16.9. So it looks like it's also more of a sector. Like, yes, some of their sales have been declining. Frito-Lay's been declining sales. And Ramon just said, we're sticking to the plan. We're going to keep plowing through the headwinds that are going on. But this was one of the reasons why I felt comfortable selling is the free cash flow payout ratio. And I know Kevin likes the earnings per share payout ratio, but I think free cash flow, that's what the dividends paid out of. So in my mind, that feels more accurate, but to each their own. I'm not saying you're wrong, Kevin, if you're watching, but it was and is over 102%. And they're projecting it to drop to 70. But I don't know. We'll see, because they get that dropping, which looks nutty to me, but they project over the next 12 months, the free cash flow per share is going to shoot up from $5 to $8. That's a massive jump. And I don't know. So, more power to them if they can reach that, but I don't know. I'd be skeptical. Yeah. Their sales growth since 21, it's nothing now. It's flat. They're still, looks like they hit the pause button on buying back shares since 2020. They're pretty much flat. And total sales, right? Little bit of a plateau there. But I'll go through these real quick. Their margins, they're hanging in there. They're hanging tough. Like, which hang tough do you prefer more? Do you prefer the New Kids on the Block hang tough, or Tesla hang tough? I'm much more partial to Tesla's hang tough. So, and if there's a third hang tough, I can't think of it, but that's the kind of hard hitting analysis you get here on the Dapper Dividends Dividend Dive program, right? So yeah, their margins are hanging in there and actually pretty decent, pretty decent if you ask me. And their net debt, right? 68%. So 68% of their capital structure is debt. And the interest coverage ratio, if you don't know, if you're just tuning in and you're new, interest coverage ratio is an important metric. It tells us how many dollars of operating income or EBIT earnings before they pay interest and taxes. So how many dollars do they have to cover every $1 of interest on their debt? Currently, $16 of operating income to easily cover every $1 of interest on the debt. So that looks good. I'm going to show you guys a few other things here. I was looking at, this is finviz.com. Their PepsiCo's price to sales is an interesting one here. It's 2.0. So you're paying currently $2 for every $1 of PepsiCo's revenue, right? The other one we looked at was 16.0 of PE. So that's $16 for every $1 of earnings. But this, you're paying $2 for every $1 of their sales. So it's kind of a fun number to look at. Again, this is finviz.com. Yeah, and there's been a bunch of downgrades. So it's just getting hit on all ends there. But one last thing I lied, two things. This is at finchat.io. They have I was very surprised by this, but their return on capital employed is 19.3%, which is really high. So I was very surprised to see their 5-year average of that being so high. And let me check one more thing here, if you don't mind. I want to see their free cash flow yield, which we go to ratios. And it's right here. Their free cash flow yield currently is 4%. Not terrible. So you ideally want to see that free cash flow yield over the 10-year treasury rate, which is, what does anybody know? It's like 4 and something. So it's right there. So Hey, that's let's look at alpha spread just to see what they give for price, and this will be the last for PepsiCo, I promise. Let's see if it'll just show me. Am I gonna have to log in? There we go. So PepsiCo, they have a base case intrinsic valuation of $164. So the DCF value, which you know my thoughts on DCF, you're predicting the future, $129. And then the worst case, hey, that's I think 5 years of negative growth, $129. So it is right there. It is just that is. Let me see what you guys say, and then we'll pop back in and look at the ARE for you, Patel. And yeah, I want to know. So real quick, hang tough on the cat on the tree branch. The kitty cat. All right. I don't know. Let's see if I missed anything important before we look at a couple more stocks for you guys. Oh, and my buys this week, 1 share of SCHD. I bought it Friday just before the market closed because my cash has been starting to pile up because I feel like every dip has been getting bought. And it's a very interesting thing. I was reading in the Wall Street Journal that, especially in April, the institutions, the fund managers, professional fund managers have been selling, and retail investors like us, households, have been buying every dip, just buying, and holding. And did you know that households in the United States hold 38% of the stock market? So average households as a whole can really kind of move that thing. So it's that was a surprising number. But let's see. What do you think of PepsiCo's free cash flow per share? Not good. It's awful, but we've showed it where I don't need to bring it up, but Coca-Cola had something similar in the mid-teens. Let me give you those years and what it was. But good old Coca-Cola also looks to be undervalued. No, reasonably valued. Oh, their share price is really held up. That's interesting. So in 20, oh boy, I got to show you guys this because this is just Tim, you got a good point here. Let me show you that. I know this is chintzy doing that. So here's Coca-Cola. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, load up. Is no bueno. I was going to show y'all how they're in 2016, it was at 93, 2017, 119, then 109, then it came down, but 176% in 2024, projected to be 242% in the next 12 months because their free cash flow per share might drop to 84 cents. Yeah, I don't know if any of you, I haven't honestly looked at Coke in quite some time, but that's crazy. What are they at for their dividend growth? Yeah. And Coke has a 62-year dividend growth streak, 105 years of uninterrupted dividends. So that means they can still cut it. They just pay the dividend. It'll still get paid, I believe. But that is a whole big bucket of yuck. That gets the Mr. Yuck stamp of approval. And this is interesting. So, and this is why, and I don't know, maybe if Kevin's on, he can share, or you got, Kevin should go live tomorrow. We should ask him. I'll ask him to look at Coke, but right there, Coca-Cola shows a safe earnings payout ratio, but earnings numbers can be fudged. It can be financially manipulated. But the free cash flow, from what I've learned, is extremely difficult to manipulate unless people want to risk going to jail. So this tells a different story, and that looks dangerous to me, right? Because with free cash flow, out of the free cash flow, you can carry that free cash as cash on the balance sheet. You can reinvest it into the business. You can make mergers and acquisitions, buy back shares, pay down debt, and pay a dividend too. So the dividend comes out of the free cash flow, which is why I think that's a more important number. But let's just look at their debt. Yeah, their sales have been declining, kind of hitting a little plateau. Look at that smile. Coca-Cola had total sales of 44.3 billion, and then now they're only at 47 billion. So that, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that, huh? What are you gonna do about it, tough guy? But margins, free cash flow margin has fallen off a cliff. Their net debt's not too bad. Good interest coverage ratio, but yeah, Tim, dude, that's where. So to answer your question, it's not good for either, but I'd be much more worried because we've seen, like I was going to point out with Coca Cola, they can pay a high, elevated over 100% free cash flow payout ratio for a few years because they're big enough to absorb that. But oh, if they hit 242%, I don't know what they're going to do. That's going to be yeah, I don't know. And maybe this is also, Frank, the last time I looked, PepsiCo had, I don't remember the number, but they have more revenue from snacks than they do beverages, or they did. I assume that's still the same, but maybe it's that diversity that is hurting PepsiCo now, where I thought that was a bulwark, that was a strength, where Coca-Cola is just beverages, right? Yeah, it could get ugly. Could get ugly. Oh, that's awesome, dude, that you're a teacher. God bless you, man. Do you worry about AI taking your job? Do you worry about kids learning at home? Um, that's a concern. I was at Barnes and Nobles a couple weeks ago and perusing the magazines. I love Barnes and Nobles. My God, what do my kids say? So for me, I always tell them there's two, and this sounds bad. Okay, this is going to sound really bad, but there's two places that I lose track of time in. It's a time warp. Let's do the time warp again. No, it's a not that time warp. It's a time warp where I lose track of time. Time just speeds up in the real world. Is Barnes is so I say libraries or bookstores, libraries and liquor stores, and not because I'm like a raging alcoholic, but there is so much selection and variety that I just start going down the line and I'm like, oh, I've never heard about this, and then I Google it, or now I could AI, Gen AI it. But yeah, I look at it and I'm like, oh, I read all about its history and reviews. I'm like, that sounds really good. And then 10 minutes went by and then I pick up another one, another 10 minutes. So just because I enjoy drinking, I don't know that, again, it sounds bad. To quote Professor Scott Galloway, I firmly believe that I have taken more out of alcohol than it has taken out of me. And I know people personally that had to quit drinking. And if you do, God bless you. But anyway, where were we? Oh, my kids, they say they say there's something in the air at Barnes and Nobles because when you go in there, it makes you want to poop. Matt's got the new kids on the block hang tough. Matt, thank you for your opinion, but you're wrong. And Andrew, we'll look at 3 here. We'll do a triple shot. We'll do FedEx for you. And just right off the top of my head, you got to think, when we invest, we want to look through the windshield, right? Not the rear view mirror. There's a reason the rear view mirror is so small, because you can't tell what's coming. You can see what's behind you and what happened, but you want to keep your focus straight ahead through the windshield. That's why the windshield's so dang big. But yeah, I know. But if the economy slows, if the tariffs keep paused, or if they unpause and they go into full effect, that's really going to just muck things up. And I think it would really hurt a company like FedEx. So yeah, you're right. It's hanging tough. I thought it might be, but I was never a big NKOTB guy. So Jim Betts. Now, Jim, was that before or after the advent of electricity from Thomas Edison? Band of Brothers. I've never seen that still. All right, let me get caught up here. And Frank, interesting, man. Do you not worry about potential single payer that the government is going to just, a lot of people, they say our system is broken. it's good, but it's the best, but it's so damn expensive. So, man, I don't know if I still struggle with that. I know I have exposure to you on United Health, and they're the largest health insurer in the country of America. But I don't know, man. I would definitely be worthy. I don't know what I'm saying here because Tim, you screwed me up, man. You've broke the golden rule. We got one rule around here. Don't give me money. Save it. Give it to a kid. Give it to a homeless person. I don't know. Find a stranger on the street and give them $2. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. My fellow Blossom homie or home. Yeah. No more money. Please keep it to yourselves and invest it in a kid's future. I'm okay. This is a labor of love. I enjoy it. I enjoy the community, but this is not what I do for. It's the ad revenue. It's a cherry on top, right? It's a little bit of compensation for my time, but as like Kevin Burgess would tell you, I'll share it with you. I got paid this week for the month of April. My YouTube's content. It was like $151. And you might think that sounds great, but if I had to guess, I'd probably say I should ask my wife really. I probably put, I don't know, maybe 30 hours a week or a week, a month. I'm trying to think. It's probably probably somewhere in the vicinity of 30 hours a month into my content creation on YouTube and stuff. So whatever, 30 hours divided by $150, it's not financially worth it. So, okay, I'm almost caught up here and then I'm going to look at these for you guys. But yeah, Tim, thank you, man. I do appreciate it. I'll give you a chair spin. Whee! I don't know what to do for that, man. Thank you. No more. Keep it for me. Keep it from me in the future, dude. I spent most of my money on booze, women, and cars. The rest I just squandered. Oh, that's great. It's like it's those country songs, right? Kind of like, what was that country song? My best friend just ran off with my wife, and I sure do miss him a lot. Yeah. That's also Munger. Munger had the 3 L's that the 3 destructors of men is liquor, ladies, and leverage. So I can definitely say I abstain from leverage. I don't use leverage. I've never even been tempted to use leverage. And the liquor and ladies I've got under control. At least I like to think so. Adam, what's up, man? Thank you. All right, I think I'm caught up here. We can look at these 3 companies for you all, and then we can do the news, right? Simply Save news. So almost there. Oh, hit the bottom of what the market? No idea. No clue. Hey, we could go way, way down or way, way up or way, way flat. I don't know. Cause I don't know. I mean, my prediction, I will give you my prediction. 20 years from today, the stock market will be higher. Why? Because companies innovate and they become more productive. And when they become more productive and innovate, and in inflation too, right? So you have inflation, innovation, and higher capacity production. Those all help companies be more profitable. And the more profitable a company is, the stock price follows earnings. So, when they're more profitable, they have higher earnings. The stock prices follow earnings. And because the S&P 500, the stock market has a survivorship bias, at least it should. That's why we should welcome recessions, because you want those zombie companies. They shouldn't be getting access to cheap capital. They should have to go away, right? Creative destruction. So the survivors keep propelling the stock market higher. That's why it always comes back and it always goes up and to the right, but doesn't mean it's going to go up every day, every week, every month, every year, or even every 2 or 3 years. Just when you zoom out, when in doubt, zoom out, look at the whole big picture, it will go up. So that's why in that last video I did, buying and holding just works out so well. It works out so well. Yeah, and I didn't follow it that much. And I'm just always trying to think, how can we push back? And again, trying to look through the, not saying that Bernie Sanders or AOC, whoever's going to get elected and somehow magically push through single payer, but there's a lot of people that clamor for it. And even if we had a quasi system, right, they want to do like a hybrid approach to it, it could affect, but who knows? Who knows? Oh, David, you did the math, $5 an hour. There you go. So right now, when I work on my YouTube stuff, I'm getting about $5 an hour. Hey, it's a labor of love, and I enjoy it. All right, I'm caught up now, so I'll just say hello to you, Edgar, from Miami. And is that really a Tug McGraw reference? Paraphrase, Michael? Is that the one I did? I stole it from Warren Buffett. Okay, he used it in some of the annual letters, or maybe it was 88 or 89. I ripped him off. There you go. You got me. But isn't that funny? I'm feeling imposter syndrome over something I read from Warren Buffett in 1988 or something like that. And the last one before I go to the flip over to news and look at these three here. Hey, you know what, man? You do you. And I always said, if anybody's looking for a Halloween costume idea, if you don't know Rick, ticker RICK, it's RCI Hospitality Holdings. They own strip clubs. They own gentlemen's clubs. So you could buy one share, and just if anybody asks what you are, you could tell people, hey, ask me what I am for Halloween. You can say, I'm a sleazy strip club owner. That's what I am. Bo! Or you could be like Tony. Hey, you want to be like Tony Soprano? You want to pretend? Do you own a strip club? There you go. Buy ticker RICK and you will. And I guess I own them, right? VTI. So there you go. All right, let's get this show on the road. I own a micro fraction of Rick. We'll go to the land of simply safe dividends. All right. Let's start off with news, and then we'll get into your guys' things. Sorry, I usually have this set up, but I think Monday was. Oh my God, there was a ton here. There we go. How's that? A little better. We'll go. Actually, that is interesting. The UNH. What was today? No, the 20th. Yeah, that's right. My birthday was the 20th. So okay. That's where we left off last, was they downgraded Whirlpool from 50 to 40. I can read. I can do it. Words are hard. April 21st. There we go. Portland General Election raised the dividend 5%. Some of these I'm not going to stop on too long. So if you want to look, pause the video and look at their, they got their little undervaluation and jib jabs, whatever they got there. Thor, automobile manufacturer, they reaffirmed their dividend safety score. I don't even know. Oh, there we go. If you would just read, dum-dum. The world's largest RV manufacturer. Very interesting. Southern Company, I saw Ian Lopick tweet about this. Raised their dividend 2.8%. Phillips 66 raised the dividend 4.3%. Nice Phillips. There you go. United Health, they got a dividend safety downgrade from 99 very safe to 90 safe. So they're still very safe. I said safe there. But yeah, rising Medicare pressures, but the dividend outlook remains solid. Yeah, and their shares have dropped 25% since they slashed their full year guidance. And there you go. They look like they're undervalued. So long-term healthcare, I think, is long-term care properties. Ticker LTC, 40, unsafe. They reaffirmed that. Sorry, I just realized I probably blew out your eardrums with that. GPN, don't know what they do. Global payments. I'm guessing they process payments globally, would be my guess. They downgraded their dividend safety score to 60 because they acquired WorldPay. Fiserv, Fidelity National Information Services, Where did I get Fiserv? I think I got, isn't that where the Milwaukee Bucks play? The Fiserv Forum. So, oh, that's why they are selling their remaining 45% stake in WorldPay to Global Payments. So they reaffirmed their safety score. Oh my God, I got to go faster. MetLife raised their dividend 4.1%. Otis Elevators raised their dividend 7.7%. And they look the lower end of reasonably valued. Manpower Group, ticker MAN, got a dividend downgrade. Still a dividend yield of almost 7%. ET, Energy Transfer, raised their dividend 77%. I was going to make a phone home joke, but then my brain was like, that's dumb. Don't do it. Arch Daniels, they reaffirmed their safety score of 70, safe. Yeah, I love that. President Trump's trade war seems to shift by the day, making it difficult to gauge the lasting impact on different industries. Yes, that's what almost all the CEOs are talking about. Ameriprise dividend raise of 8.1%. There was their very first, congratulations, Google. If you get the newsletter, 74% of Google's revenue is from ads. So we hit a steep recession. Ads usually get cut first, but looking undervalued. $161. They think they have a fair value of 182 to 222. But they have a fantastic balance sheet. Again, it's trying to think about the future and what could happen. Great company. I've worked with their hydraulic hoses. Parker Hannifin, ticker PH, raised their dividend 10%. And this is one that if it went crazy low, I might jump in just because I understand the business, at least their hydraulic fluid control part of it. Oh my God, almost there. Cisco raised the dividend 5.9%. There you go, dividend king. And it's Cisco food, not Cisco routers and cybersecurity and whatever else they do. Commercial food distributor. Texas Instruments reaffirmed they got their dividend safety score of 80 reaffirmed. A lot of news this week. And the last one, TELUS, the Canadian telecom company, got a dividend downgrade from 72 to 60. Now we will look for you real quick here. See how fast I can get through these and tell you if you want to look deeper. I don't remember who asked this. Either way, pause the video if you want to look. But Train Technologies, right? They did the HVAC unit, dividend safety score of 70, safe. Cut the dividend during the last recession. So I get this all on the screen. Really quick dividend growth. Ever since that recession, they've grown it very quickly. So very fast dividend raise. Going dividend, ex-dividend June 6th. Fair valued. Let's see. Just looks fair. Looks like a fair price for a really good company. Love it. Super low free cash flow payout ratio. Let's see. Yeah, earnings, free cash flow per share has just jumped. I don't know if they made an acquisition or something. Just really steady sales growth as of late. What else we got here? Buying back shares, sales going up. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong. Fantastic margins. That looks really good. Let's see their debt and low debt. Yeah, nothing wrong with Train. And again, this is just my opinion looking at the numbers, the fundamentals. So Train looks really solid. You would definitely give that one a thumbs up. Alexandria Real Estate, never dug in deep. I know a lot of you are fans of them. And if you are, hey, while I'm talking about this, put in the chat why. But a dividend yield of 7%. They are a REIT. Healthcare, I think they do life sciences though, mostly, right? Yeah, life science and technology campuses. They cut the dividend during the last recession. Very nice dividend growth, except the last one was 4.4%. And yeah, a lot of you seem to, looks like they raise the dividend twice a year. They've done that for a while. Looks way the hell undervalued. Yeek, look at that. $75 a share. Why is it so down? Yeah. So the market here, when you see like a dividend yield that is sky high above and a PE that's way below like this, the market's telling you something isn't right here. And I don't know what it would be. So if anybody has any inkling, please share it because I want to know, because this looks really juicy. With REITs, we look at AFFO payout ratio, which has dropped actually, or is expected to drop, which is very good. Yeah, I'm not seeing too much wrong. Sales growth is still high single digit. Not crazy share dilution. Remember, REITs dilute, but their sales and AFFO, and it's going up with the shares. Margins are, I don't know, just okay for a REIT, I suppose. And their debt is low. So somebody put it in there. Why? Why does the market hate this right now? I need to know that, because it looks really solid. And then FedEx looks undervalued. Dividend safety score of 64 safe. You guys know what FedEx does. I think their founder, wasn't his name Smith? I remember reading a story that when he was in college, he did a paper or something for business. I don't know what, but he got a bad grade or a C or something like that on his idea for FedEx. But, oh, that's right. They're spinning off their freight business. That's right. Into a standalone company. I'm going to look at that too. They maintained the dividend during the last recession, 4 years dividend growth. Yeah, they raised the dividend fast, 23% 10-year CAGR. Yikes. That's skyrocketing up. Looks like they're getting ready to raise the dividend again. So, yeah, they could be undervalued. And again, this is all just going to depend on what does the future look like for them, the near future. So, free cash flow payout ratio is really low. My God, look at that. 2019, 554%. Yeah, those were yucky times there back in 2017 to 20. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like UPS, right? I don't know if I know off the top of my, that didn't sound, I don't know if I know. Never know what's going to fall out of this guy's mouth. But sales are declining. They were at a high peak in 22, and they've dropped a bit. But yeah, their margins have fallen. Free cash flow margins a little low. That means when you see 4%, 4 cents out of every dollar in revenue is making its way to free cash flow. And remember, that's one of the things you can do is pay out the dividend. But their debt, they've been paying down debt over the years, going back 10 years. And yeah, interest coverage ratio is right there. So, I don't know. I'd be worried a bit about the future, what that's doing. So, by the way, we're back. Hello. Take a sip of water. Goodness. Somebody's doing like, does this guy ever shut up? All he does is talk. Well, until we learn how to do this telepathically, yes, this is my only way of communicating with you. All right. Bros for a growth. What do you mean, bros? Are you talking about the Dutch brothers, right? Ticker BROS. D's Divs, I don't even remember what you were laughing about, but it's so long ago. So I'm back now. UNH will be undervalued for several months. It could be. And I think reform is coming. RFK, right? I don't know how much sway he's going to have, but I don't know. It just, I think the market senses it. It feels like change is coming, but when? We don't know when. So I don't know, maybe. Yeah, and it's interesting. I had a thought when I was talking there about Train. Companies like I can't think of his name. I heard an interview with, he started United Rentals. Why is his name? I think he wrote a book called How to Be a Billionaire or something like that. Oh my God, I can't think of his name, but I think he has a company or he makes acquisitions, and one of them was a roofing company. And he said, you don't think of it, but a roof. Here we go again, right? Is it roof or is it roof? How would I say it if I was telling you? So he says when the roof on your house goes bad, I guess that's how I say it. You need a you need a roof. Everyone needs a roof. I think it's roof. I don't know. It's non-discretionary. You don't really have a choice. I guess you can patch it, but if you're building something, it needs a roof. The same thought kind of popped in my head with your HVAC unit. If my HVAC unit went kaput and it couldn't be repaired, guess what? I live in Chicago. I'm buying a new HVAC unit. We'll do whatever we have to do to buy it. It's not like, I'm not, if we're buying T-bone steaks or something like that, or foie gras, it's just, you don't have to buy that. It's a discretionary item. Your Starbucks is discretionary. You can choose to, but your Kroger is non-discretionary because you have to eat. You have to buy food. So I think it's the same thing kind of with water heaters, right? Like A.O. Smith, not Otis, that's escalators and elevators, Carrier. They were the same company. I know I got them on the brain because RTX, or was it Raytheon? Oh, it was Raytheon. Raytheon, no, God dang it. RTX Technologies spun out Otis and Carrier and then kept the aerospace and defense, right? So they, yeah, you have some companies that are in HVAC. You need it. You need hot water. How long are you going to go without hot water, right? You can try boiling it, but if you live in the United States and you have teenage daughters, good luck trying to get them to take cold showers. Not going to happen. So you're welcome, Matt. And I think so. I think they are. But yeah, what do you guys think? I don't know. What did I ask you about also? Dude, Brad Jacobs, that's it. Yeah, so Brad Jacobs said that roofing is non-discretionary. You can't not have a roof on a building or a house. Like you have to have a roof. And I think he was talking more in the lines of I'm guessing new construction, building materials, just in general, maybe. I don't know. But that was an interesting thought. What other things can you think of that are, because when I hear non-discretionary, I just think, oh, Starbucks, Starbucks, Nike, consumer non-discretionary things, right? Like you don't have to get a new pair of Nike shoes. If the shit hits the fan and people are losing jobs and money's getting tight, we're going to buy a water heater if it goes out. That's kind of so that would be non-discretionary, I think. Thank you. What did I say? RTX technology is just all over. Hey, you know what? You do this on a Sunday night when it's almost, wind down time. But thank you, Craig. What are you doing? You want to go on the next live? I don't know. What are you doing Sunday nights? So maybe I'll have you. Sam, how in the hell did you know that this was the Dapper Dividends channel? Welcome, everybody, to the Dapper Dividends YouTube channel. Let's see how long I can... yeah, Fast Eddie, I do. I work by myself all day. I do. And some of my favorite things, and it's funny, they'll apologize. Earlier this week, I had to drive to Sturtevant, Wisconsin. It was like almost 90 minutes. Like, oh, we're sorry. I'm like, I get paid to drive 90 minutes. I get to listen. I get to sit and drive and listen to podcasts. So yeah. Aaron, thanks for sharing. You've been buying OMAH. Oh, GPIQ. That's right. He texted me about it. Jonah Weingarten texted me about GPIQ and GPIX. And I still haven't looked at them. Maybe tomorrow night. Rig Transocean, Matt. I think we did once. I think you might have brought it up. For some reason, I don't think I liked it. Oh, that's too bad, man. Just tell your family you can't do it because you're going on the channel. So they'll understand, right? Tell them the trip's canceled. This guy that has a channel in Chicago. All right. But yeah, dude, we'll do it soon. By the way, maybe I don't know, maybe I can get you in on it. I'm Yeah, Sam, I think right now, I think it's Starbucks. They both could be. We just did a whole big long thing. I'm assuming you missed it on PepsiCo. We went pretty deep into PepsiCo. I think over the long run, it's going to be okay, but I wouldn't be surprised if we dip into the low 120s here. Um, it might happen, might not. If we get there, I'll probably start buying it again because that dividend yield has never been this high. But uh, I was going to say this at the beginning, Craig. I don't know, I'm pointing. We just booked tickets Thursday night to London. So we're leaving June 9th that night, and I'll be back the 18th. So we're going to London and Scotland. And I think for the content, I want to release a couple interviews. So because I'm not going to create anything. I'm going to be enjoying the hell out of my family while we're over in London and Scotland. I'm not going to do a live stream or none of that, but I'll have a couple videos. So I think the easy button for me is to get a couple interviews recorded, and then yeah, I'll have you be maybe one of those. And anyway, it's in the works. It's 6 weeks away. So, well, with that, my God, ladies and gentlemen, look at the time. Where does it go? I don't know. So, hey, I really do appreciate it. And again, everybody, you don't gotta give me money. Don't keep it for yourself. Give it to a kid, give it to a stranger, give it to a homeless person. Just walk up to somebody and tell them I said so. But yeah, thank you so very much. I really do love that you were hanging out here, and I appreciate all the questions and the $2 donation. So, guys, I love you, and I will see you next Sunday and be back right here. So, Craig, enjoy Disney, and we'll see the rest of you back here.